Hello, creative minds. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are making the six pieces dress on the thumbnail, and I hope you bear with me with the way this pattern and the sewing everything goes because I already had it filmed and edited before, but fortunately, unfortunately, my device got corrupted due to low storage and so on, and it got deleted. But I got a few clips, so I'll be inserting it as overlay on it, and you will see along. First of all, you fold your fabric into, and then on the folded edge, you're going to take measure from your shoulder down to your gown length where you want your gown to be. Then you're going to take your bust span, which is your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, and then place it right there to your waistline, till your waistline. Then from your waistline, you're going to determine how your fabric is wide and then measure that as your hemline. I mean, how you're going to manage your fabric. For the main video, I use a 6 yards of fabric, 3 inches because it was a pattern. Now you're going to connect that downwards, and then we'll label this our center front. Cutting a six pieces determine on how your fabric is. If you have a 3 yards of fabric, you have to first of all know how wide your hem line will be. I mean the down part of whatever, even if it's skirt or gown, how wide you want it to be. So you have to determine that before you go ahead to measure how wide it will be. So now we are going to trace out this center front on it. If you're using one pattern of fabric, this method that you flip over is best for you so that you can manage your fabric well. But if you are doing it like the first video I made that was in two pattern, you don't necessarily need this because you'll be using another pattern for the side. So you are just going to pin that down by half of an inch after tracing out the line. So you're going to stick down by half of an inch that you are pinning it down. So you want to make sure it's up to half of an inch, and whatever you pin down is what you will be sewing with. If you like, you pin down by 1 inch, you're going to be stitching down by 1 inch. And if you pin down by 1 inch, you're going to be shorting because you use your dart measurement. So now I'm just going to flip this just like this, and after doing this, if it was clothes, it will be easy to flip over, but for a pattern paper, it's kind of bringing out shape. So now you're going to, on the shoulder line, take your shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then you come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, and you connect it to your 3 inches for your neck wideness, and you can as well use 4 or 3.5, depend on your preference. And then we are going to take our armhole measurement, which is our bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. Now we're going to divide our armhole by 2, what we got here by 2. And then on the midpoint, you're going to mark that down and go in by half of an inch. And then you're going to take your armhole measurement, I mean your bust round measurement divided by 4. And then you're going to mark from your shoulder line to the half inch taken in to your bust circumference divided by 4. Now this is what we have for our armhole. I didn't mark this correctly, but you're just going to use your proper curve or use your free hand to do it. Now we're going to take from our shoulder line to our waistline. So on your waistline, you're going to take your waist divided by 4 and connect it to your bust your round bust taking measurement, if you get what I mean. Now on the hem line of the gown, we don't need a hip measurement for this. On the hem line, you're going to use times 2 of what you use for the front. And now It depends on your fabric. If it's not up to times two, if your fabric won't be enough for times two, you can just go by adding 5 inches or whatever your fabric is enough for. And now we're going to cut this out. So this is what we have for the front. You know you're going to be folding your fabric by two when cutting the two sides. I mean the side, center side of the front. Now for our neck depth, well, you're going to use 3 inches if you want it to be firm on your neck and round to, what am I saying? If you want it to be up to your neckline, but you can go and do your preferred V-neck, whatever neckline. You can use 4 inches for your deep neckline. So this is what we have. And make sure it's on fold. Now let's draft the back. First of all, while your fabric is on fold, you are going to you're going to draw out your zipper allowance, which is 2 inches, and from that point you are going to place your center front on it and then pin it down and cut it out, because the only thing different from the center front and the center back is the zipper allowance and the neckline, if you don't want the neckline to be the same thing. So you can go ahead and choose your preferred neckline. So we're just going to cut this out and we have our center back. This is what our center back looks like, and it's going to be on fold. So you're going to have two pieces of these two. Now we're going to shape this zipper, the back, center back, so that our zip will not be bulging. Now from the waist point, you're going to take in half of an inch. Sorry, you're going to take in 1 inch on the waistline and then connect it down to the hip point. You're going to measure where your from your shoulder to your hip point, which can be 25, 23, or whatever. Then from that waistline, you're going to connect it slightly just like this and then trim it out. And take note that when when you are stitching down your zipper, on that waistline, your zip allowance is going to be 2 inches, because that's the essence of taking the bulginess away. So now we're going to place the center front, I mean the side front, on folded on a folded fabric also. Make sure your fabric is on fold, and then you're going to place the right on it just like this and then trace it out. This is what we're going to have after tracing it out, and you're going to have 4 pieces in total, two for side front, two for side back. I was just going to label this because it's on paper. Now you're going to, because this is not a lined fabric, you don't really need to line it, but if you want to line it you can just go ahead. But because on the main video I did not line it, I just went ahead to weave every part of this pattern I cut out. I went ahead to weave every part of it. You'll be seeing in the clip I will be putting. After weaving it, then you're going to join them together. So for this pattern's sake, I'm just going to write this as the right side, I mean the right face of your fabric. So now you're going to place the center front on the side front, just like this, just like this. Please watch carefully. and then the other one, and then you're going to stitch down by half of an inch. And don't forget to add sewing allowance when you're taking your measurement. I forget to add that to it. So now this is the back part, and I'm just going to label this also right side and right side so that we understand well. So the one label CB is center back, and the one later label SB is side back. So now you're just going to place it on each other. Don't make a mistake while placing this. Right side facing each other, and then you're just going to sit down by half of an inch. So now on the side front, you're going to mark where your zipper, because there's a zipper in front on the right side or on the left side, depending on wherever you want it to be. And then you're going to measure your zipper and stitch up to that, because you're going to fix a zipper to it. And after stitching that, you're going to open your seam and press it down. You can see on this main fabric, the first one I did, that I press it down after stitching. I open it and press it down, and that is the zipper space for the front. And also I press down the back. And now this is what we have. I'm so sorry for any kind of noise in the background. So now we're just going to place the front on the back on the front, right side facing each other, and then stitch down the shoulder line by half of an inch. And after stitching, you're going to iron it back, iron it to the back pieces, iron it and press it down to the back pieces. So now this is what we have on the main fabric after stitching down. And then for your neckline, you're going to use a bias tape to turn it in, to stitch it down. If you know what I mean, you're just going to use a bias tape to sew it round the neckline for a good finishing. And then you hem the down part. Now for the sleeve, this is what we are doing. You are going to use a bias tape, measure 4 inches upward from your armhole. I mean from that bust point up. Going to measure 4 inches from the joint part upward, just like this. And you're going to use a bias tape to turn it in. And after turning it in, you're going to measure whatever you have around there, and then pick up a piece of paper and fold it into just like this. And after folding it, you're going up by 4. First of all, measure the length you have, your given length after you stitch down the with a bias tape. If you understand what I'm saying at all, then you measure the length, the height of the sleeve for 4 inches, and then we're going to fold the sleeve in two like this. And then on the folded part, you're going up by half of an inch, and on this open side, you're going up by 1.5 or 1 inches, depending on however you want it to be. And then you just cut this out, and this is what the sleeve will be looking like. So now you're going to open it in on the wrong side, and then add a add stay. There's an interface called add stay. You're going to add it and then glue it to it so that it can give you the effect it's given on the thumbnail, on the inspiration we follow, and then stitching down by half of an inch. And then you're just going to weave the mouth and iron it. This is what you're going to have at the end of the day. I hope you understand and pardon how I filmed this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.